As dancers, we evolve. Our style changes as our interests change. For example, beginner dancers are interested in being able to just dance without thinking too much or being self-conscious. An intermediate dancer could be interested in expanding their dance repertoire. An example of this is when an intermediate dancer gets comfortable with standard salsa and starts learning Afro-Cuban technique. There is no set path in exploring new interests. Every person has a different step to take. And as dancers, it is our responsibility to recognize newfound styles. If someone were to take a snapshot of ourselves as dancers right now, what would they see, Juan? Hey guys, what's going on? This is Rami and Jaber, and you are on the Morbook Chats show.
Woo! Episode 13. Yay!
Yeah.
Hot today.
It's super hot. Can you see the little bit of sweat we got going on?
Yeah, you see like a little shine glare.
Juan, we got paid a rent so we could get some AC in the studio, bro. But as you saw in that lead-in intro, today's topic is very self-reflective, I would say, right?
Yes.
It's looking at ourselves, and I feel that as friends, people who've seen each other dance throughout the years, we could actually see the way that we've evolved as dancers.
So the snapshot, like this snapshot of what I am right now. Obviously, I've been dancing for a very long time. I don't even want to say how long. And I've improved in several different styles and techniques through the taking of classes of different instructors, mostly with Yamaya Dance Company. And I would say I'm at an intermediate advanced level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable dancing with just about anybody, whatever level they are, even if I'm not to the point that I can be the most amazing dancer with one of the more professionals, but I can at least hold my own and have a nice, decent dance. I can also dance with the very beginners that may not know what they're doing, and I know how to approach that as well.
What style are you seeing yourself do a lot more, or what kind of movements are you catching yourself do a lot more compared to before?
I do a lot of the same moves all the time, and all the followers can tell you they are pretty much used to the same style that I dance because they know, and I come up with something new every now and again, but it's usually about the same. I dance a lot of bachata. That's like my main thing. I dance a lot of kizomba just because I like it. Salsa, mostly if I have a chance, if I ever hear the song and it sounds on two, I'll dance it on two because I love dancing on two, and I love a lot of people that can follow on two. I'll always ask you, would you like to dance on one or on two? If you don't know what to say, then it usually means that you're dancing on one. If you tell me on two, then I'm super happy because I want to do it on two. If I know you can dance on two and you tell me on one, I'm still gonna try to push it for two because it's fun.
That I could attest to that because I've seen you always be like, oh, on two. We always have this argument at the booth, on two or on one, and I'm always on one person.
No, you're not.
I like on one.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You start on one, then you switch to on two, then you go to 1-3.
Ooh, I think this is interesting. I think in this snapshot we have our own personal like reflection of what we think our snapshot looks like, and then have each other talk about our own.
Sweet. So tell me what you think of my snapshot.
I think from your snapshot, it's you're very studio-esque, obviously, because you've had that background with Yamaya Studio and the performing.
Correct.
aspect.
Oh,
Correct. In the social dance world, there is no correct, because from where I studied dancing, there is no such thing as a count either, or music when you dance.
What? Dancing without music?
Yeah, I know it's
I want to
weird,
hear all
man.
the comments about that right now. Like, blast them.
What? You're just freestyling. Have you ever done modern dancing? Anyway, that's a side subject. Leave your comments if you want, or send us a DM. A lot of you like doing DMs instead. Always interesting. But my snapshot of you, Juan, is you're very proper in it, and that you really like on two a lot more than you used to. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, we were always getting down on one.
That's just because we didn't know on two. I remember the first few times.
I still like it. Don't like it.
I remember the first few times that I started dancing on two, and I remember the joy of like, oh my god, I finished the whole song on two, and it was just so amazing because I just felt so proud of myself that I could do it on two. Because it's different. It's difficult for most people to start dancing on one. And to me, it just made a big shift and change, and like, oh my god, I can do this now. And then once I got into it a little more, now it's obviously a little more.
Sorry, natural. Timer. Oh, you didn't hear that. We're not gonna cut this anyway. Okay, so you're saying that you like on two now more because you didn't really know about it. How about with your bachata? Do you think anything's changed in your bachata since you've started?
Since I started, yeah, definitely. I remember the first time I started dancing bachata, it was the old school, side to side, stepping just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and lifting the leg and everything. Seriously, that's what I used to do when I started. But because that's what everybody did when I started. And I remember bachata being like this super sensual, romantic, and all you had to do was like dance really close to the partner the entire time. And I also remember bachata being the break for me, being like, oh, I've been dancing salsa this whole time, I need to take a break, and this is bachata. Bachata is the rest. And it's changed significantly since then. Obviously, since the big revelation of what really bachata is for both of us, I think we had it at the same time. That we just kind of like took off from there and started becoming more proficient of the quote modern contemporary style of bachata. And that's kind of more where we're leading now. At least myself personally, I've always done more of the contemporary and what I like to call NorCal bachata. Although it's kind of shifting, NorCal is not really as much the same style anymore. And we do the dance that's a little more separated, a little bit more about frame, not necessarily about being close and connected. We don't do a lot of romantic stuff, or I don't do a lot of romantic stuff or sensual stuff. Yeah.
Do you do body rolls?
No.
Okay.
Well, I do little ones. I do just like
the subtle frame body
body
rolls.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like put an emphasis on the body roll.
Yeah. All right.
My body soul rolls. What? Doesn't seem right. Yeah.
We're keeping that on there. All right, so let's talk about me then.
Sweet.
All right.
Let's start it.
If I were to do a snapshot of myself, it would be I'm more eccentric. I would say I'm very eccentric right now. Eccentric in
other words, weird.
Yes. So whether it's salsa or bachata, I don't really stick to one form of, say, structure. I don't stick to just on one or on two. Like you said earlier, you mentioned it. I'll go on one, then I'll get us on 5, then I'll get us on 3, depending what music instrument I want to hit or what movement I want to hit.
Yeah.
Because as I said earlier, I don't like the background I just got trained in was there is no count. Sometimes you counted all the way up to 60. It was weird. Or sometimes,
that hurts.
And then there's sometimes where we were trained, all right, there's no counts at all. The way that you're dancing, if you're dancing in a group, we communicate by breathing out. And so by the time someone goes, we should all be at a certain movement by that time. There's no set count, so it's kind of weird if you think about it. But if you've ever seen Modern, you'll know exactly what I mean. And the other part I've noticed myself doing a lot more is that I just make stuff up. Right there, I make it up, and I like to show off by separating and doing a little shoulder stuff. That's my snapshot.
And the other part of the snapshot is that if you guys ever see him and you watch him dance, he knows that you're watching. Just so you guys know, he likes the attention, as do I, to be fair, and as do those most dancers that are out there dancing. And you're definitely more on the more showing off and more just kind of playing with different types of music, and that's fantastic for you. I still don't agree with the way that you dance and the way that you're switching from one count to another. But
first off, we're not saying opinions of each other's style. We're saying what the snapshot is. So what's the snapshot of me that you see right now? What, salsa first and then maybe bachata after?
Well, yeah, like you said, you dance in different counts, for sure. You like to do a lot of different styles of dance that you incorporate into the salsa. You don't stick with traditional salsa frame or different, nothing specific to one style or another. You just kind of pick up different things that you learn from different places or that you just like to make up on your own. And you throw it in there just for fun because, like you said, you're having fun. And that's what ultimately dancing is supposed to be about. It's about having fun. And kudos to you for having fun. I hope your partner's having fun too. Most of them, might be, but there might be a few that are not.
I feel like that was a backhanded compliment right there. Like, yeah, you're doing great, but are you really? I just remember a snapshot of my bachata is that I've gotten very more in frame mentality.
Good.
So versus always doing all those moves, hairbrushes, fancy combos, I do the basics a lot more where we're just rotating in place usually, and then I'll get subtle upper body isolations or weight shift isolations more.
One thing you guys don't know is that Romy used to be very afraid of bachata when he first started dancing. He was completely against the fact that he had to be so close to somebody and dance with them that way because that was against his moral principles or so, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I still don't get that close with people. If I do get close with people, I've known them for a while, or we're just comfortable, or maybe there's an interest there.
Hey.
But I don't stay there longer than, say, 2 or 3 8 counts.
Yeah.
I get out of there quick. That's my snapshot, right?
You guys have seen us. I mean, we have a lot of viewers that have seen us for years and have seen us grow up. And maybe you see something that we don't see. You want to share and tell us. Please do. You go ahead and put it on the comments down. Are we on YouTube? Is it down below? No.
Facebook is also on the
Facebook is
on the side.
Below. Yeah.
And like some people, you may be asking, why are we doing snapshots right now? If remember the little monologue I did earlier, it's about reflecting on yourselves and identifying where you are right now as a dancer, as you've evolved to different levels. Like Juan said, I evolved from not wanting to do close position at all to being down to do 3 8 counts of.
And he dances kizomba, ladies. If you want to dance kizomba with him, go ahead and ask him.
We'll do like salsa blues fusion
He'll do more
freestyle.
like Zouk in there.
I can't say it's real Zouk though. I cannot say because that would be disrespect to the people who actually do study and dance Zouk.
To be fair, I don't do real
it up.
kizomba either. I just make it up as I go too.
I like it.
Yeah, but no, this is actually a fun exercise. I want to ask you, everybody that's watching this, if you are, put your snapshot at the bottom as a comment. If you're courageous enough, and see what people say about it. Like, are you right about how you see yourself? And maybe you are, or maybe you're not. Maybe it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it's all about you having fun and enjoying your time. And with that said, that's it for us. Thank you for watching the show once again. Hope you guys have a fantastic hot weekend, like we are right now. If you can see, I'm sweating. And as always, have some fun and stay classy, Sacramento.